All right, well, it is December. Happy holidays. I hope you're enjoying them. I wasn't able to get a video out last month. I had some holiday stuff going on myself. But this month, we're going to dive in. We're going to take a look at some MLS data instead of the Beacon Report data. I'm going to show you a handful of charts right out the gate that's going to give you a good idea of active, pending, and sold activity in Bend. So the very first chart we're going to pull up, and this is straight out of the MLS. Keep in mind, these are single family homes under an acre in Bend. So this chart shows all of our active, pending, and closed. So the active is just that. What's actively currently listed in the MLS, we have 372 single family homes under an acre. Pending, there's 85 that are pending currently or that have gone pending in the last 30 days. And then closed, again, that's just the last 30 days what has closed. So we have 104. And so if you scroll down too and kind of move your eyes to the bottom of that chart, you'll see our averages. And towards the middle, you see the average sold price currently is about $864,000. And then all the way to the right of this chart where it says DOM, those are days on market and cumulative days on market. So 87 is the current average days on market. Cumulative means if someone took their house off the market and relisted it again within 60 days, that clock continues to tick. Okay, so there's a big picture. We're going to break down the quadrants next. So let's jump over to just Northeast Bend. Same chart. Again, active 105. So pretty good amount of inventory in the Northeast section of Bend. 22 that are pending in the last 30 days, and then 30 that have closed in the last 30 days. And again, you put your eyes down there at the bottom of that chart. There's our averages. Look at the average price in Northeast Bend. This is actually the most affordable quadrant in Bend with an average sales price of $615,000, and you see that we've got 73 days on market. The next quadrant we'll take a look at is Southeast Bend. Active 88 there, 19 pending, and 23 that have closed. That average sales price does pick up a little bit in Southeast Bend. There's a sales price of $733,000, and then we have 91 days on market there. Okay, the last two sections we'll look at, we'll do Southwest and then Northwest. So right into the Southwest section of Bend, 46 active listings, 10 that are currently pending, and 16 that have closed in the last 30 days. Average sales price there does take a significant jump up to $863,000. And you got about 80 days on market there. So pretty consistent days on market. But the very last one we're going to pull up, and this data here kind of explains why the Bend median home price can often be very skewed because we have a lot of high-end homes in the Northwest section of town. So take a look at the difference right out the gate. There's active 95, 17 that are pending, and 22 that have closed. But look at the average sales price in Northwest Bend, just a little over 1.4 million. Average days on market there is about 109. So the next thing I want to look at is number of sales. It hasn't been a very active market across the US, and kind of the same story here in Bend. And in fact, our sales have been relatively the same. Let's pull up this first chart. Again, this is right out of the MLS, but this is 2023 number of sales up until December 10th of last year. So we had 1,527 sales. Again, this is just Bend, single family homes under an acre. I kind of just keep using that same search criteria so that we have apples to apples when we look at this data. But you can see down there at the bottom, the average sales price was $877,000 and about 40 days on market. So now we'll take that same data, that same snapshot, and compare it to this year. And this is what we get. Almost the same number of sales, 1,518 compared to 1,527 of last year. Average sales price did move up a little bit. Again, we went from $877,000 last year to currently about $888,000. And then the days on market, we had 40 in 2023 this same time, and right now it's about 51. So that's exactly what the data shows, is the number of sales are very similar in Bend. The prices have gone up on average a little bit, even though we definitely see some areas where homes are selling for less than what they were purchased for maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And then the average days on market has moved up a little bit. So the reason the sales have been stagnant this year and stagnant of last year is exactly because interest rates are still high and prices are still holding. And this kind of seems to be the theme across the nation. Next month, when we explore that National Association of Realtors data, it'll kind of make sense what we're looking at from a national standpoint. But for now, let's talk about interest rates again. They're still sticking there. We're in about the mid sixes. I pulled this chart. Source is Freddie Mac, and you can see between 2023 and 2024, we averaged about 6.7% interest rate. Like I said, it's about 6.5% right now. We may talk about this a little bit more next month, but there is speculation that rates are going to come down. But again, that is just speculation. Remember, the Fed is continuing to control the prime rate, which doesn't directly affect, but can affect mortgage rates. In fact, when the Fed did their last rate cut in September, it dropped rates to about 6.1, but then we've seen them come back up since then. So the speculation as to what is going to happen next year is pretty vast, but from what I see, most predict it will stay around mid sixes, or if we get below 6, that would be kind of a big victory. Definitely no signs on the horizon of rates going back to a 3 or a 4%. So don't be holding your breath for that. So I also like to continue to talk about inflation rate because that is driving a lot of this conversation. So I'll pull this chart up here for us to take a look at inflation rate over the last 4 years or so. This is up to October of 2024. The source of this data is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And we're currently at about 2.6% inflation as of October. In September, it was about 2.4, and a year ago, we were sitting at about 3.2. So we've made some progress in the year over year, but it's still sticking in the sense that the Fed has made it very clear they want to hit this 2% inflation rate. So until they hit that, we may not see, again, that big dramatic change in the prime rate, which would ultimately probably affect the mortgage rates. One thing that is being discussed a lot and that I very much agree with is we're probably going to see a fair increase in inventory in 2025 and likely in this early spring and spring into summer. There's so many people who've been sitting on the sideline apprehensive to list and sell their home and get rid of their 2.5%, 3% interest rate and graduate up to a 6.5% or 7% rate. Understandably so, but at some point life just happens, right? You've gotten divorced, you've gotten married, you've had a baby, you need to upsize, you need to downsize, there's deaths in the family. At some point there's reasons beyond your control that it's just time to sell a house. And I think we're going to see a lot of those people come off the sidelines in 2025. And then hopefully rates will ease up a little bit as we see inventory come on the market and some more stability comes into the market, and plus hopefully inflation is going to continue to show those positive signs of moving in the right direction. Lastly, I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to everyone that I was able to work with this year, and whether it's helping you buy a home or sell a home, it means so much to me that you trust me through such a large transaction and such a daunting process to be by your side and help you through that. I really look forward to all the clients I'm going to get an opportunity to work with in 2025. There's quite a few of you. We're already having those conversations and getting excited about what's going to happen next year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, enjoy the holidays, enjoy your family and friends, and I look forward to talking to you next month.